I've been really addicted to my phone. I didn't used to watch TikToks, but I've been watching them recently because I've been posting on there. And something I've noticed about TikTok, if you're posting on TikTok and then watching on TikTok, your posts will do better than if you're not watching TikTok. So it's like you have to make a deal with the TikTok beast, let's say, and you have to say, I'll play your game if you give me what I want. We've all heard a similar story to that. I really want to just take a break, but I can't help it. I'm just glued to my phone like a zombie. If I talk about it on a camera, I might be able to at least make a step closer to overcoming the phone addiction, the YouTube short addiction that I have. So the idea I had was that TikToks, like watching TikToks is almost identical to the process of thinking. So off the top of my head, I would say that there are 3 types of thoughts. So the first kind of thought that we have is the conscious thought. That kind of thinking is when you don't know what to eat for dinner. You have to think up what you're going to eat for dinner, and you need to eat something healthy because you're overweight. You have to think up not just a meal that you would like, but a meal that you would like to eat and is good for you. That's an example of the conscious thought. You have to make the full effort to find what you're going to eat for dinner. Then you have the other end of the spectrum. You have the opposite kind of thought, the unconscious thought. These thoughts you have no control over. They just happen to you. The vast majority of our thoughts are unconscious thoughts. When we talk about suffering, the topic really is the unconscious thoughts. And then the third type of thought. This type of thinking is like when you have ideas. You didn't really control that idea coming into your head. But if you didn't make an effort towards finding something, you wouldn't have gotten that idea either. The idea kind of thought. It's like the conflict of those 2 processes. It's the creativity. I'm watching TikTok, and TikToks are no different to thinking unconsciously. You know when you're in bed, right? And you just keep getting all these thoughts. It's not the thoughts themselves that define suffering, but what defines suffering is when you're receiving all these thoughts and you're attaching to them. They're like cars that race past you. It's only suffering when you grab onto the car, then it pulls you with it. And it's very, very difficult to not grab onto the car. And so I noticed a similar thing happening when I'm watching TikToks. Hold on. I'm flicking through each one of these videos. I have no control over what videos happen. These videos that are being recommended to me are working with an algorithm that tailors to my thoughts, and I am getting lost in each one of these videos and I feel like crap. So I realize it's just like having all these thoughts coming into my head. I'm not just pulling on one car, grabbing on one car, and then I'm grabbing on another car, and then I'm thinking about that car that I just grabbed on, and I've got to pull on both, and I'm getting pulled in all sorts of different directions. A lot of people are watching TikToks. A lot of people are watching YouTube shorts. Out of nowhere, this is something that's normalized. And so I think it's a really big question to ask why we're all doing it to ourselves. But then I realized that that's something that we've been asking for way longer than TikToks have existed. Because asking why we are watching TikToks and in a sense torturing ourselves, it's the same question as why do we allow ourselves to suffer? Because as I said earlier, suffering is not defined by the unconscious thoughts themselves. You suffer when you attach to them. And that means that there's a kind of choice that we have. We don't have to grab onto those thoughts, but we do every time. And so it's the same as watching TikToks. It's actually a very simple choice to make, to just stop. But it's a very difficult choice because why is it a difficult choice to make? We don't want to give up the chase. Because the thing that we're chasing, it feels as if we might actually one day grab it, but we're playing a cruel joke on ourselves. We are torturing ourselves. And why this is normalized is strange. It makes me think of this game, Minecraft. You can ride pigs in Minecraft, but you need a certain item. So you sit on a pig, but it doesn't move on its own. What you need is a fishing rod and a carrot, and you put the carrot on the fishing rod, and then you can ride the pig. Because what you do is you dangle the carrot in front of the pig's head, and then you're able to ride the pig Because what you do is you dangle the carrot in front of the pig, and the pig is constantly following the direction of the carrot. It can smell that carrot and it really likes carrots. And as far as the pig's concerned, that carrot is getting closer and closer and closer. But there's a trick being played. That carrot. The pig never gets to the carrot. The thing is with these animals is they don't understand, they don't comprehend the trick that's being played on them. They're just playing being tricked. But maybe why I feel so bad when I'm watching TikToks, when I can't help but just scroll through each video and get lost in every video. Maybe the reason why it feels so bad is because I know that I'm playing a trick on myself. A part of me is aware of that. And so just like my thoughts, I can make the simple and difficult decision to stop grabbing onto every one of them. I don't have to keep chasing the carrot, because another thing that I have found, the real way that my hunger is actually satiated can be found by doing nothing, can be found here where I am already. It's just a matter of the fact that I sometimes play a trick on myself and forget that the carrot is here and now, so I chase after it and cause myself to suffer.